Do you want to add some fun to your summertime activities? Well, stick around if you do. We'll be back, but first, this. Let's check out some of those birds. We got some bird action right here at the top of the show, and then we're going to talk about it. I hope you stick around. Hello and welcome to the Bird Talk Show today. We got a great show lined up for you. I'm glad you're here. I think you're going to be glad you're here. Welcome to those already joining us live here at the Bird Garden YouTube channel. And for those of you who are watching the replay, thank you for dropping in at your convenience. Couldn't carry on without you. Appreciate the heavy load that you're carrying over there on the replay crew, even though I'm not able to interact with you like these great people over here in the chat. I've already said hello to Daniken. Hey, my buddy Daniken Aquatics is in the house. Big supporter, long term. I mean, this guy's Bird Talk friendly. If you haven't checked out the Daniken Aquatics YouTube channel, go over there and do that. He's a guest star on so many live streams. I'd love to have Daniken Aquatics come up on the show one day. I'll come up with a topic and maybe I can convince Kenny to be our guest. Would you guys like that? Let me know in the comments if that sounds good to you, and I'll be cooking up an idea, Daniken. So there's the top of the show shout out, and that's just to get the ball rolling. I mean, this thing, that was very, very nice. I love talking about Daniken Aquatics. He's such a community builder, but that's just a snowflake in the avalanche that's about to happen. Hang on to your seats, buckle up. This is going to be a good one. That's why I've loaded up some information that I want to get across to you, because as you guys like and comment and subscribe and share, and when you destroy the algorithm over this live stream, I want to make sure I've got all of my commercials in place, right? So I've got some things here we're going to go through because this is going to be epic. And I've never used that word, to my recollection, on the Bird Talk Show before. This is going to be epic. Here we go. We're going to say hello to Sky Dancer. Welcome. I see you in the chat over there. And Daniken has confirmed anytime he'd be our guest. So it's just going to get better and better. Okay. We're at the first level of heaven, and we're going to continue to ascend. And who knows? But it starts right here, episode 31, the Bird Talk Show. We're going to get into it. I want you guys to know I got my technological glitches resolved this week. So we are back online with that unbelievable Hawaiian bird footage. We got a lot of content in the can from Hawaii. Polly's in the house today. Polly was a bird we met in Honolulu, and you can watch that video. That video is already on the Bird Garden YouTube channel for your enjoyment, and we've got the Kauai content now rolling out. Had a great time in Honolulu. We even got a video from Kona on the Big Island. We already have done those two islands, and we released last week our first Kauai birding trail video that included the Poipu Beach area. Fantastic area birding. And we have Hanalei National Wildlife Refuge completed, ready to upload. So that will be out later this week. And now I can promise you that. I can assure you that that next Kauai birding content is coming out. So much fun, so beautiful. I'll just tease it with this. The Kauai Island is where they filmed Jurassic Park. So if you can think back to how amazing and jungle-esque that was, and I mean, it's 360 degrees. You're either seeing the beautiful Pacific Ocean and Hawaiian surf, or this majestic jungle, this cloud forest, green, lush. You're going to have to watch the video. Words aren't going to catch up to speed there. So, and I loved it so much. Let me see if I can share my screen. There we go. Last week, we did episode 30 of the Bird Talk Show, and there's one of our marquee birds from all the Hawaii content, the red-crested cardinal. Very cooperative. This talk show, we talked about it, and we've now got several videos up featuring the red-crested cardinal. If you're interested in that, they're all recent videos. So I encourage you, if you didn't get to watch last week's live stream, it's up. I uploaded it as content for you guys. Go check it out. Also, the feature-length videos of Hawaii, many, if most of them, if not all of them, include this red-crested cardinal, because Not only was it common and tame enough to get within camera view very often, I loved it. That thing's beautiful. I've made two, I don't have it to show you, but I've made two paintings of that bird. It was very inspiring to say the least. So catch up with that last week. Now, while I was over there in Kauai, and as you know, I designed the Kauai Birding Trail. That's a Facebook group now. If you want to go on over to the Kauai Birding Trail on Facebook, request to get in there, I'll get you in there. We got lots of cool things going on over there at the Kauai Birding Trail: photography, places, bird list, birding ethics. I mean, it's a really cool Facebook group, and you do have to request to get in. I want to make sure there's no shenanigans over there. We're just there to have fun, so do that. But I did create the Notes in Paradise. You see a picture of it there. I've made notes before, during, and after my Hawaiian trip. And these notebooks I'm making available to you now, they come in black and the plain craft color. They are 48 blank lined pages. And they've been used by me. I wrote an ebook using this. I kept a travel log, all of my notes, many of the pieces of information I'm uploading, and the content that's still rolling out, because I had my Notes in Paradise notebook, made that possible. You have to inquire about these over at the Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. Come on over to the Facebook group, ask how you can get into one of these Notes in Paradise notebooks. I'll help you out. So I've also written an ebook titled The Hawaiian Adventure that includes a step-by-step planning guide to help you get to Hawaii. And I'll say this, since I've written this book, the number one objection and obstacle I hear from people about why they haven't gone to Hawaii, why they haven't gone back to Hawaii, which I'm saying it in that way because I can't wait to get back. I can't imagine why anyone wouldn't want to A, go, or B, if they've been, go back, because it's very wonderful. I've mentioned the visual impact. I've mentioned the flora and the fauna, but that aloha spirit, that feeling, that relaxation, that separation from, man, you know what? I'm over here in Hawaii, and everything that bugs me right now, everything that has bugged me that I can recall is 2,000 miles away. It is a beautiful vacation destination. I loved it. So I wrote a book to help you get over there. Number one obstacle, number one objection to why people aren't going to Hawaii: the expense. Costs too much to get there. And true, it can be very expensive. But I want you to know, during the writing of this book, I found a ticket, a plane ticket from the mainland to Hawaii for $85. Okay, that's well under $100, gets you into Hawaii. So this book lets you know it doesn't have to be daunting, and it's not going to teach you how to use step by step some of these booking websites that are now available. I'm going to say they're plug and play. Okay, you find your package, your time, your place, and you can work it out on some of these websites that already exist. I'm not reinventing the wheel, but I'm giving you some direction to help you get started, building some bridges from this step to that step, some things for you to consider that I learned from experience. If I would have considered this pre-trip, it would have been a little smoother in the planning. So it's a fun book. I enjoyed writing it. I'll give you a sample page here. This is, I mean, this occurred to me. This happened to me. I wrote it down, had it in my Notes in Paradise book, so I recalled it, and I'm able to share it with you. And this is where I say Hawaii is a labyrinth wrapped in enigma until you discover the aloha spirit, and it tells you that you've been overthinking it. And that's the Hawaiian experience as I know it. You're all hyped up, you're on vacation, and you're trying to figure out, what is this Hawaii? Wow, it's so different. There's no frame of reference for me anyway. So after I settled into that aloha spirit, and you can't know that from watching videos, from hearing me talk about it, you got to get in touch with that. That's a touchy feely thing. And you just exhale And that next breath, when you're in the aloha spirit, is why. That's the why you went through the saving, the purchasing, the planning, the traveling, and then the experiencing. That makes it worth it. So I wanted to make sure that I got that across in the book. Not only planning, not only helping you to be familiar with Hawaiian foods you will discover, Hawaiian words you may hear used often, Hawaiian places that you may not want to miss. I wanted to kind of give the whole thing a context, and here it is. Here's the why. All right. So we've got the Kauai Birding Trail, right? And there's also a partner, a sister Facebook group that is the Honolulu Birding Trail. Sorry, there are no stickers for that, but it's Honolulu Birding Trail Facebook group. And it's very similar to the Kauai Birding Trail, different places, different birds, different reasons for going bird watching there. But both are because the birding trails make the world a better place. They benefit the universe. They're mutually beneficial to the bird watcher and the non-bird watcher. And here's a little graphic that I designed to help explain that. And the easiest connection to understand how mutually beneficial birding trails are is to pull out this piece of data that bird watching, bird feeding, bird travel is connected to an industry that generates over 17 billion with a B dollars of tax revenue. Tax, as you know, goes to buy roads and education, safety. That benefits everyone. It's also a very socially popular thing. Over 45 million Americans are now doing it in one form or another. And birding trails facilitate doing it, being bird watching. And birding trails, they facilitate that. They promote that. They're there. If you want to go bird watching, they're there for you to experience vicariously through other people who now have a Facebook group to post on. You can see what they're doing at that location on that birding trail. So there's so many benefits, and it does span so many different user groups. That's why we're putting so much effort into these birding trails. And if you're following the Bird Garden channel, the Bird Talk Show in particular, you've heard me mention several times the Low Country Birding Trail in Charleston, South Carolina, that is offered by our friend Ashby Gale at Charleston Fossil Adventures. Now, that's a .com if you want to check him out. He's a paleontologist. He takes individuals and groups out and they do lots of shark tooth hunting. Well, you're doing that outside at a coastal area on the water. There are lots of birds. Well, we've had Ashby on as a guest here at the Bird Talk Show, and he's told us about the birds in the area, and he's even recorded birds to share with us here on the Bird Talk Show when he travels on vacation, even out of the country. We've got some clips of a bananaquit that he filmed in the Virgin Islands. So I designed the Low Country Birding Trail for Ashby, and he has it on his Charleston Fossil Adventures website. It just fits like a glove with the natural history that people are seeking his business out to discover more of. So you've heard me talk about the Low Country Birding Trail in Charleston, South Carolina. Now you're hearing me talk about the Kauai Birding Trail and the Honolulu Birding Trail in Hawaii. And I've designed birding trails all over the world, basically, several continents. Okay, not every spot in every world, several continents on Earth. I've designed birding trails because I love them and I believe in them. I think they're mutually beneficial. And to a bird watcher, when I go to a destination, having a birding trail, it's a roadmap. Well, lots of people think this is a good bird watching. Well, I'm not from here. Thanks. Thanks a bunch. I'll go over there and see what kind of birds are happening. Okay, now I said this recently, and we're going to get into the meat of today's topic right now. We got 5 people in here. Wow. Hey, guys, how's it going? I'll check in chat. We got Lefty3213A. Good to see you, pal. Been a while. I'm awake for one of these. Yeah, welcome. Glad you're here. We'll try to keep you awake. Listen, we're gonna talk about a compatible outdoor activity, and I think it's a sister activity. You've heard me talk about it before. if you're on board already. We are 20 minutes in. We're at the 20-minute mark, and I'm going to mention the title subject, which is geocaching. All right. Now, you recall from one of the Honolulu videos where I actually was bird watching in a park in Honolulu, keeping a bird list on my eBird app, free from Cornell University, eBird. And also its companion app, Merlin. If you can hear a bird, you just open up your Merlin app, let Merlin hear it. It'll tell you what bird you're hearing. We've covered it in a previous live stream. We called it "You Heard What?" Big great horned owl on the thumbnail. Check it out. Yeah, listen, take your cell phone bird watching and let it listen to what birds you're hearing and tell you what bird it is. Merlin is the app, Merlin. Got a big connection to Merlin right here. I don't want you to see too much of that right now. We'll get back to that. You'll find out more about that. But we're geocaching in this photograph in Honolulu, Hawaii, while we're bird watching. Why would I go bird watching all the way in Hawaii and then spend my time geocaching? Well, they're so similar. They're so similar. You set yourself up for targets. I want to see this bird in this park. And I found all the way, met Polly in this park. Met Polly, the red-crested cardinal we've already seen a picture of. So many more walking through the park to this geocache. So I found this geocache on the app, and it was the furthest point that we walked in Honolulu from our hotel, right? So it was a nearby cache, but we had to walk through the park that had all the birds we wanted to see. It was so perfect. Left the hotel, bird watched all the way out, and we walked from our hotel in Waikiki. You can Google that if you're not familiar with the Hawaiian layout. Once you're there, it all clicks. Before I went, all these Hawaiian words, mumble jumble, I had no geographic sense. But you can look at a map if you're like me and need to. We're on Waikiki, and we see Diamond Head, beautiful Diamond Head. It's a state park, state monument, rim of a crater of a volcano. can you? Yeah, I just say that casually. Yeah, it was the rim of an ancient volcano, but it was beautiful. And so we're walking toward Diamond Head. So the view shed is Diamond Head. In front of us, to the right, is the Pacific Ocean, and to the left is this park that we're walking through after we walk past the Honolulu Zoo. I'm overload, right? I mean, a nature guy, right? Naturalist, just going crazy. Waikiki Beach, Honolulu Zoo. This happens to be Kapiolani Park. There's a video, Kapiolani Park in Honolulu, looking at Diamond Head and the Pacific Ocean in Hawaii. Waikiki. Holy cow. All right, so this geocache, you see the binoculars. I'm wearing binoculars. Didn't take those off. And no hat. I mean, everything's the same. My targets going through the park were birds I had listed. My destination, I was following an app. You know, if you don't know, geocaching is a treasure hunt that's GPS guided. You download the free app. There's an option for premium membership, which I purchased. This may be a premium hide. If you don't, you get plenty of geocaching for free. If you want to see the sometimes bigger, better hides, you pay the nominal annual fee. I'm glad to do that. And that was our target destination, right? So it's a treasure hunt. This thing was hidden. And I don't know if you look closely at the bottom of the photograph there, just it's kind of late. There's a camouflage pouch. It's like touching my toe. All right, that's a camouflage pouch that this Tupperware type container fits down into, right? And you see that ficus tree behind me. That's one tree, and that's just a portion of it. It is huge. I'd hate to guess the diameter of that thing. It's probably just looking at it, it's probably approaching 20 feet across. Okay, so there's lots of nooks and crannies and crevices there. You put that box in a camo pouch, and then you hide it somewhere in this maze of trees. It's a nice little game of hide and seek. Now, this geocache name is called Tree of Souls on the geocache site. Tree of Souls. So the app will take you to what we call as geocachers ground zero via GPS. Tree of Souls, huh? I bet it's in that tree. Well, now you've got this. I mean, it's 20 feet across this way. It's 15 the other way. 20 across the back. It's a pretty good sized box with thousands, if not a million, hiding places, even for a box that big. Okay, so we've found the birds. We've listed the birds. We're continuing to bird watch. Okay, we're looking in the tree for the geocache. We're looking in the same tree for birds. Hand in hand, we got targets we're trying to visualize, right? All right, so obviously I found this cache. That is a live geocache that you're looking at. And I'm having the time of my life. I just earned in the app what is known as the Hawaiian souvenir. So every time you find and log a geocache in a state, geocaching.com gives you the souvenir, which is just a little graphic of the state. And if you click on it, it'll give you, you know, a little bit of information about the state. But it's like filling in another list, okay? All this and listen, geocaching is the fastest growing outdoor activity in the world. Now, this is how compatible it is with birding. Bird watching is the fastest growing outdoor activity in the United States. So now you see me here in one photograph participating in the fastest growing activity in the United States and the fastest growing outdoor activity in the world. And I'm having a blast doing it. I mean, this is a mecca experience. Geocaching and bird watching in Hawaii, in Honolulu, off Waikiki, in Kapiolani Park. Watch the video. Look at the birds. I mean, before we even talk about the geocache, look at the birds we saw. Life bird. I mean, I don't get a life bird. That is, I don't get to identify a bird for the first time in my life very often anymore. I've been doing that since I was 10 years old. And I really got to travel someplace to get a bunch of new life birds. Hawaii, definitely no exception. It was ding, 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 ding. So when I would see a bird that I'd already seen before, it was the anomaly instead of the, oh, wow. So really cool place, really cool things. Opening the show, I said, if you want to add some fun to your summertime, hang around. I'm delivering right now. Geocaching, free app. Bird watching has eBird where you can catalog your finds if you want to put your birds on a list and have them stored electronically. But Merlin, the Merlin app, will help you identify the birds. Even if you don't know how to identify birds, you know how to download an app and click the little microphone and you hear chirpity chirp chirp and it says, oh, that's this bird. Oh, wow. Then after it identifies the bird, gives you a little photograph, has a drop down. You can listen to more songs that bird sings. It's really, I could have never imagined we would be here in bird watching, having started as an analog guy where, you know, these binoculars, that's really an analog piece of glass that magnifies things. And now we're identifying birds with our cell phones. Crazy to think about. I'm glad. I'm very happy. I'm not resistant. And I'm definitely a participant. I'm using that Merlin app every time I go in the field. Well, so I'm always looking for a collaboration. I'm the consummate, to a fault. I want to collaborate. I want to know what I have to offer to what you have to offer. And if we can do some matchmaking, then my firm belief is that we would have a bigger collaboration. You know, a couple weeks ago, we had John Hudson of KG Tropical's YouTube channel here, about a 500,000 subscriber channel. He does aquariums. He has an aquarium business. He sells aquarium fish, aquarium products. And I'm a bird watcher. I have the Bird Talk show on the Bird Garden YouTube channel. What on earth could you two have to talk about? Well, watch the live stream. And what I told John is what we have in common are viewers and subscribers that love natural things. Some that fly, some that swim, and maybe everyone that I know that enjoys watching birds fly also enjoy watching fish swim, and vice versa. If not unanimous, it's a huge overlap. Well, John, why don't I don't want to become an aquarium channel. I have a channel for that. Pond Life, formerly River Life. All right. I want to mention that because if you go on geocaching .com and you want to connect with me there, my username is RiverLifeTN. That was because I started when I had the River Life YouTube channel. We moved off the river, we built a pond. I changed that name to Pond Life. Pond Life is a YouTube channel, lots of koi videos, waterfall videos. We built the pond. I very well documented the pond build. Okay, so River Life TN on Geocache, right? And now uh Bird Garden YouTube channel, talking to KG Tropicals YouTube channel, an aquarium channel. That was a collaboration. Neither of us wanted to become the other, but both of us knew that our viewership would appreciate the other, and it would be some good. I mean, just like Ashby Gale, CharlestonFossilAdventures.com. He's a paleontologist, right? He doesn't want to go into bird touring. Well, not yet. I mean, I say it's all about the birds. These guys are probably on their way to becoming, bird channels, and they don't know it yet. Probably not. I just like to say that. So anyway, we're doing these matchmaking collaborations. Holy cow! What if you were a foodie? What if you had a food channel? Okay, and I've done okay. I've got to put a fence here around my ideas. Sometimes my brain my brain uh, does this thing where it half bakes ideas, and I start talking about. I'm going to rein that one back in. But if you were a foodie, all right, you enjoyed watching foodie channels. How would I collaborate with you? Well, I mean, bird watchers eat and they eat out because they're out bird watching. Usually, the bird watching field trip starts in the morning. You're out there till noon. Time to eat. You grab something on your way out, then you're out there for lunch. Where are you going to eat? Well, now, perfect example. I'm leaving this picture on the screen. Across from Kapiolani Park on the Pacific Ocean was a joint called Barefoot Beach Cafe. Please go back and watch some Hawaiian videos until you find the Barefoot Beach Cafe, and you'll see us drinking. Um, it's kind of like a pineapple slushy, only it was served in a whole pineapple. Cut the pineapple, gut it, blend it, put some ice in it, crush it, put it back in the pineapple, put the top back on, cut a little hole in it, put a straw in it, serve you. You're a complete pineapple drink in Hawaii, and you feel like you're on vacation. It adds to the immersion. Uh, I've never enjoyed a beverage so much as that. I mean, it was warm. I'm 78 degrees in Hawaii, kind of like every day in Hawaii. And we'd been birding, and here's this refreshing whole pineapple with delicious sweet pine. And the pineapple in Hawaii is different. If you're eating Hawaii on the mainland, I just have to tell you, pineapple is different in Hawaii. I'm just going to leave that there. Please discover that like I did, and you get the aha, wow. I had this drink in my hand. I ordered the food. They had a Kahlua pig quesadilla, one of the arguably the best bite of the whole Hawaiian trip. I give it a 1B, and I selected a 1A. They're not even a step apart. They're so close. But right here across from this park, one of the best bites in Hawaii. Why? Because I was bird watching, and I was bird watching in this spot that had geocaching. I discovered this bite, this food. Can I collaborate with a foodie? Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me where the restaurant is. I'll tell you about bird watching in the area. And if you're not careful, I'll get into talking about the geocaches that are also there because they're everywhere, just like the birds. They're everywhere. I've never been to a place, okay? I'm a traveler. Look at the videos on either channel. Look at all the Facebook groups. I'm a traveler. I've never been to a place that doesn't have birds. I've never been to a place that doesn't have geocaches. And I've yet to be at a place that I couldn't find really good to great and exceeding great food, excellent people, and that is who Bird Garden YouTube channel is. It's a community builder. that loves to collaborate and match make to bring a heightened life enjoyment to anybody who'll give me a minute. I want to make your life better. Give me 1 minute. I want to make your life better. Watch 4 of my 15-second shorts on YouTube. 15 seconds each, 1 minute. I want to make your life better. So that's what we do. This is how we're doing it. Geocaching, huge. Okay. If you don't like birding, give geocaching a try. It's going to take you to some really cool places, give you some cool information about those places. Probably, like me, you're going to find great people and great food also. I can almost guarantee you'll find birds. There will be birds there also. Yeah, there's some caveats. And maybe it's time we talk about that. Not yet. I'm saving it. Okay, we're 36 minutes in. So Danican Aquatics has an interesting comment in the chat. He says, the minute you land on Hawaii, you need to throw your watch in the drawer and forget about time. And you might as well. You might as well. Let's see. Yeah, I concur, Danican. Represent. Birding Trail. There's another one, Kingsport Birding Trail. That's a Facebook group. Hop on over in the Kingsport Birding Trail. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I said 36, 37 minutes in. All right, I'm going to hold off on that. Got a grand finale. Okay, made a new friend. Got a grand finale. All right, and we had a damn good time. And make a note of that. We're going to come back to that. All right, that's going to be the crescendo. Coming up. Oh, let's see. Do you like this split screen? I love it. I can still talk to you and we can have a visual. I really like this. Okay, so here's an example of a piece, a game piece. This is a game piece in the geocaching game. You don't have to do this. This is optional, okay? This is added fun if you want to. You don't have to. The object of geocaching is to find via a GPS guided trek to a geocache. You're going to go to ground zero. Okay, typically that's going to be a 10-meter circle. So once you get into ground zero, the coordinates, they're not going to take you to the pinpoint. They're going to take you to ground zero, which is about a 10-meter circle. Right? And then you get to have the fun of searching. There's a clue embedded in every description if the cache owner wants to include it, to help you find the geocache within this 10-meter circle. And there's lots of creativity, which is one of my most favorite things about geocaching is the creativity. And when we get to the crescendo, I'm going to give a big shout out to a guy that I met yesterday that really accentuates the creativity. Okay, but this on the screen now we're looking at is a game piece that's called a travel bug. And you see that in the title, travel bug dog tag. Okay, now a travel bug, it's not really a bug. Okay, it can be anything. It can be anything at all. But it is assigned a number, a code that is registered with geocache.com. Now there's a fee associated with getting that code. In this instance, this is my travel bug. I own this, and I purchased what's called the dog tag, and you can see it there. I put stickers on it, but I purchased this dog tag that has a unique code on it. Geocaching.com sent me the dog tag, and I want to say the dog tags run about $6 a piece. I could be off $1 either way, but certainly less than $10. And there may be cheaper ways of getting a code, but you have to purchase a code that is going to be uploaded and kept by geocaching.com so that for the purpose of tracking. All right, so I purchased the dog tag and I geared it up with my stickers. And so the actual travel bug is the Bird Garden YouTube channel sticker. So I took 2 stickers and I put them back to back, right? They're vinyl stickers. They're very strong. So the adhesive on both are all sealed up. Not going to cause a lot of odor, not going to cause a mess. If you're able to stick that down into a physical geocache, all the geocaches um, that are physical. Some of them are virtual. We're going to talk about an incredible virtual. That's the crescendo. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, physical caches require you to find the physical container. The container will have at least a log sheet for you to sign, and that's the game. Find it, sign the log, replace it. Okay. There's a level of difficulty I'm leaving out there. People who are not aware of what you're doing, they're known in the game as muggles. And you don't want this thing that's being passed around by geocachers to get muggled. Someone who doesn't play the game, doesn't know what it is. You don't want them to find it or destroy it. So you try to be cryptic, right? And if you're bird watching, you got binoculars, it's easy. I'm looking for a bird all over the place. Oh, what's this? La la la. You're signing the log and you're looking at birds, and you're putting the log back. You're looking at birds. Okay. Some people get really creative. They put on a construction vest and a hard hat like they're doing an inspection. They've got a clipboard and they find the cache and they put that extra. Okay, that's all extra. You don't need it. Many times, the cache description, which is included on the free downloaded app, they'll tell you to bring your own pen. Very common terminology in geocaching, BYOP, because some of the geocaches, here are my eye drops, they can be very small. They just have to contain a log sheet, which is a piece of paper. That's all it is. And then you need to bring your own pen so you can sign and date it. Sign it with your username on geocaching. I'm RiverLifeTN. So I sign RiverLifeTN and the date. And if my wife's with me, I'll sign RiverWifeTN. That's cute, right? RiverLife and RiverWifeTN. And then if she's at the cache, she'll sign me in too. And then we'll kind of tag team. But only one of us will have to actually sign the log and return the cache. We're doing this all over Hawaii. Are loving it. So I made this particular travel bug that you're looking at, the 2 stickers and the tag that I paid for with the code on it. Turn that thing over and you see the code. So if you're a geocacher and the physical geocache is big enough for me to put that dog tag in, standard dog tag size, you can tell by me holding the sticker how big those are. If the geocache is big enough to drop off the travel bug, I can put it in there and then I'll log on the app that this travel bug I dropped at this cache. Usually it's a drop down and a click. Too easy. The next geocacher that comes by has the option, doesn't have to fool with it at all. Can just sign the log and the app will give you a little smiley face. They call that joy, the smiley face. Get the joy. Sign the log, click on the app, boom, you get a smiley face. It starts, oh, there's 1 for you, 2 for you. Keeps a log of how many, where you found them. We're at the 43-minute mark. We are geocaching for reals right now. I hope you're enjoying this geocache talk. I certainly am. It makes my life better. I'm taking a minute to share it with you. I hope it makes your life better. Whoever finds this cache next that I've dropped this travel bug into, they've got the option to do nothing. They can get the code off the back and they can log that they discovered this travel bug. So now it goes as part of their resume, their curriculum vitae, everything that the geocaching app tracks for you. This Bird Garden YouTube channel travel bug will be logged as discovered by you. Then you don't have to take it, you don't have to do anything. You're just noting that you saw it. You don't have to, it's an option. Another option is to retrieve the travel bug. That means you take the travel bug from the cache, right? And this is where they get the name travel bug. Now, if you take this travel bug from a cache and you log retrieved, now the app knows that whatever your username is has retrieved and is in possession of this travel bug. And on your profile, you can go to trackables. You have a drop-down menu for trackables and it says inventory. So this trackable will now appear in your inventory. And me, as a player and the owner, I can go to the page. Now this is the page you're looking at, the page for this travel bug. And below that is more information. I can find out where that travel bug is based on whatever player logged. So when you retrieve it, it shows up as a log on the page of the travel bug, and I can see, oh, this player has it. Then when you drop it into the next cache that you want to deposit it in, yeah, it's also a log, and that's how it moves along. And it moves along not only physically but electronically. So there's an accuracy. You need to, if you have it, you need to log retrieved. If you drop it, you need to log dropped into a geocache, physically dropped, and then everyone can follow where it is. And then also on the page, it has a map. Every time this travel bug is moved, it drops a pin on a map. So I dropped this in Hawaii, right? I established it in Tennessee, dropped it in Hawaii. So there's a long line across the map. That scale has absolutely no reference, but it's a long way across the map, and it has mileage on it, 2,200 miles. I made it in Tennessee, dropped it in Hawaii. So the cache is credited with 2,200 miles traveled and 2 dots on a map. Well, someone picked this dog tag up and they transported it back to the US, another 2,200 miles. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, I dropped one in Hawaii. I did 4 of these. Okay, 4. So this is number 1. If you find another one, if you get in the app, you're looking around for the Bird Garden channel YouTube travel bug dog tag, you might find Bird Garden channel YouTube number 2, 3, and 4. Well, one of these that I dropped was picked up the very next day after I dropped it into a Hawaiian cache. The day after that, it flew back to California. And the day after that, it flew from California to Latvia. That thing is going to get tens of thousands of miles. But now what have I done? Okay, I've expanded our community collaboration. I've put into motion a Bird Garden YouTube channel travel bug into the geocaching universe. There's a collaboration. Every person who sees it, including you, now has a connection to bird watching, Bird Garden channel, geocaching, maybe even Hawaii, since this was a Hawaiian video that I launched this in. Okay, so 2 user groups at least. And now every person that sees this, if I have in my possession a game piece, we're going to talk about this one in a minute, and it has a code on the back, I'm covering up a code. And we meet in real life, and I can say, hey, I got this travel bug. This isn't a travel bug, but we'll get to it. And it's got this code. You can log it. Okay. Now you discovered it, even though it's in my hand, not in a cache, you discovered it. Right. And if it were the Bird Garden YouTube dog tag, now you've just been exposed to YouTube and the Bird Garden channel. All right. I'm just going to leave that out there, and you're going to have to figure out how that compounds into, that's more shelf space for the Bird Garden channel, more recognition of bird watching, and it's going all over the world for the price of what Rack paid for that dog tag, which was about $6. Okay, that's a lot cheaper than stickers, and it goes a lot farther. I don't know. Maybe there's a seam in the portal. Maybe I'm violating physics. I don't know. It sounds pretty cool. I like it. That's just one aspect that I truly love about geocaching is the travel bug. Trackables is the general heading, trackables, and the travel bugs. And I figured out a way to absolutely marry YouTube and geocaching, right? They are a match made by me. And I recommend this to YouTubers who aren't doing it yet. And I recommend it especially to YouTubers that have geocaching channels, which brings us to at the 50-minute mark. We're up to the crescendo. You've had the geocaching lesson. I hope you try it. I hope you enjoy my videos. I hope you enjoy the geocaching content, and I hope you get out there and see some birds and find some geocaches. Anyone can do it. Okay, we got a dog alert. Everything seems to be cool. Let's look out. You all right, girl? Anyone can do either of these things almost anywhere for almost nothing, right? There's not a geocache in my neighborhood now, but my previous house on the river, I was surrounded by geocaches. I could walk, ride my bike, geocache. You good? You good? Look out. Okay. She's still grumbling about something. Anyway, we're not breaking away from this because we're going to talk about a geocaching event that I attended yesterday. Okay? There you go. There I am. This is a screenshot from geocaching.com. That's me, River Life TN in the upper left. And I posted a note for the Deep Dam event. This is an event that happened at a local TVA dam in our area, the South Holston Dam. That's why I said earlier that I had a damn fine time because it was a dam event, the Deep Dam event. Okay, so, and you can see here how I've got the code in the upper right hand corner behind the Bird Garden YouTube channel icon there. The watermark. You can see the remnants of a code. So every event is also a geocache. So when I went to this event, it was on the app as a geocache. So once the app saw that I was at the location, had tracked via the app the event, I can log it as attended, and it gives me a smiley just like I found a geocache. All right. Not a physical geocache, it's an event, but it plays like a physical geocache. What was going on at the Deep Dam event, which happens to be in Tennessee? It happened yesterday. Actually, I made the log today. All right. So the event, if you go to the event, it'll tell you it was yesterday, but today I did the log Wednesday the 29th from Tennessee, and the event was 28.6 miles from where I am. So I took a picture when I got there, uploaded the image. Now, this was my note on the event page. You can make notes on the cache pages as well. You can put photographs on the cache page. All right. So we're talking about the cache is a physical location, right? The travel bug is a game piece that moves from cache to cache via players, random players. And each of these have their own page. You can put up pictures, you can put up notes, log how you encountered whatever it was, the travel bug, the geocache, the event. Super community oriented. Okay, I hope you're hearing this. My note was this was a super fun event, one of only 44 virtual geocaches that is a 5 of 5. Okay, in the geocaching world, that means 5 for terrain. That's the most difficult terrain you're going to have to encounter. And then to find it is a difficulty level of 5. Once you execute the terrain to get there, finding it is also a 5. That's the most difficult ranking of any geocache. I have never found a 5-5. I think I have found a 5 on the terrain that wasn't a 5 on the difficulty, and I have found a 5 on the difficulty that was not a 5 on the terrain. So I've never done the 5-5. That's a challenge. Okay, read that challenge. I said it's one of 44 virtual caches in the world with less than 25 finds since 2004. Now the 5-5 is a trophy, and this one is so tough. It's only been done less than 25 times, probably closer to 20. And the organizer of this event was, in fact, Merlin 1392. He organized the Deep Dam event. He put it up. He did the write-up. He showed up and made it fun for everyone. And the big deal here is Merlin 1392 is from Michigan. He came all the way from Michigan to East Tennessee to get this cache, right? And this is what's called. I want to go full screen here for just a second. There we go. This is a path tag he had specially designed with his username on it. There at the bottom it says Merlin 1392. It's got some glitter on the outside. It's a really sharp coin, and this is typical. I've had several of these made. They do come with a tracking number that is for The tracking number is actually for this is a compatible piece. This is not a geocaching piece. It's compatible. When you find these in geocache, they're for keeps. You can keep these. The geo coins are a little bigger, and they're to be passed along. They're a game piece. This is not a game piece. This is a path tag. It becomes your personal one. So he gave me this. It's very awesome to get one of these in real life. I've had several, but they're another company called Path Tags, pathtags.com, where you order these custom-made coins so you can give to your geocaching friends, and you can leave them in caches for people to take and have, and then they go to pathtags.com and they log it with a special number. Let's see, I can show you a number. So yeah, it's got more than a couple numbers, but you can see stamped in. Everyone's individual. Everyone's different, unique. That's the word I'm trying to spit out. And we did have focus there for a nanosecond. Okay, so now you see Path Tags has generated a whole nother companion accessory to the game of geocaching, right? Totally connected. I'm doing the same thing with bird watching. Totally connected, so similar. Find the treasure, share the treasure. So cool. One's flying in the trees, one's hidden in the trees. I love this game. I love these games. So cool. Merlin 1392. He organized this event. I commented on it. I took this photograph. Merlin 1392 shares Jedi strategy with Baker 6 clan. Disappointment was not an option, even though the diving duo surfaced with no joy in the first dive attempt. Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? 57-minute mark. The diving duo went down, apparently underwater, and they came up empty-handed. Here's a video clip that's going to be included in an upcoming video that I already have in the can. It just needs editing. It's going to be a bonus video during the Kauai videos that are coming out. I want to play it for you now. You're going to get to know these two guys. On the right is Derek, who is the creator for Behind the Cache YouTube channel. Go watch some YouTube videos at Behind the Cache. Tell Derek that birdgarden sent you over, and that I was right about him being a creative genius, an amazing person that makes people's lives better. This is Merlin 1392 on the left here. Tim, great person. We've already exchanged a couple of communications, and I've got some path tags to send out to these guys. Let's see. Yeah, we got some stuff going out there to Merlin 1392 and Derek at Baker 6 Clan over there at Behind the Cache YouTube channel. It's going to be fantastic. I'll keep you updated. I'm introducing you to these people. Now I've got a video clip I want you to watch from yesterday. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat here live right now, or leave a comment below. I'll be happy to fill in the blanks for you, because this is just kind of a summary. I've talked about this to this point so you can understand what's about to happen in this video. I'm going to take a quick glance at chat on the way out of here. The Zen Ginger's here holding down the moderation effort. Thank you so much, Zen. I appreciate that. If you want to, I've got a geocaching playlist. Thanks, Zen, for mentioning that. If you want to put Behind the Cache YouTube channel link in the chat, that'll be just fine. And I'm going to bring up the video now for your enjoyment. Hey guys, I'm out here at South Holston Dam, one of my favorite bird watching spots. It's an eBird hotspot, and I was able to get a new bird on my eBird list today, the cliff swallow. Supposed to be an easy find, but I was out here all spring looking for that thing. I finally found it today. Speaking of lucky finds, I ran into these guys. Gentlemen, tell us, what is your name and why are you so happy?
I'm Derek from Behind the Cache and the Geocache Talk Network.
And I'm Tim Green, also known as Merlin 1392. We're geocachers.
Yep, and we were out here doing a 5-5 virtual right off the dam. It's called the Deep Dam Dive. And went down there 3 times, and we finally got it. And it is just absolutely awesome. It's one of 42 virtuals 5.5s in the world.
5.5 means what to a bird
5.5
watcher?
in a virtual means 5 terrain, so highest terrain and highest difficulty to find.
Highest level
Highest
difficulty.
level difficulty, highest level terrain.
How
You
deep
need
underwater
special
was
gear.
it?
57 feet, 55 -ish.
55, 57 feet was where the plaque was.
So you guys just dove down and found it, no problem.
Well, we had lots of problems.
Those problems.
We learned how to do plan B
And C.
and we got it.
We got it.
That's why you're so happy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely happy.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, guys.
Thank
And I always say that bird watching and geocaching have so much in common. It's a treasure hunt. And when you find your treasure, you get that joy.
Yep.
Leave a comment. Tell these guys you appreciate them sharing with us, and I'll see you in just a minute. Hey, guys, I'm out here at South Hole.
I know you are. All right, there it was, guys. They went down 57 feet underwater, pitch black, felt their way around, had lights, 3 attempts to find a geocache 57 feet underwater. They did it. They traveled from all over. Disappointment not an option. Merlin 1392, Tim did a great job in doing that. I was so happy to be a part of the ground crew. And again, I've been in touch with these guys. We're already shouting each other out on social media because of that community collaboration, much like the one that we have. Thank you for your support. I wouldn't do any of this if it was just looking at this little Logitech camera. I do it because I know that we're connecting, and I seriously do want to bring you good content that will make your life better. I think if you go bird watching, you'll really enjoy it. If you discover geocaching, please leave a comment below. Let me know that I had a positive influence. Yeah, and if you know anybody else who likes this type of content, make their life better. Hit that share button. I'm not going to keep you in overtime here. I do appreciate you hanging out with me today. I've had a blast. I hope that you have, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, why don't you get out there and find some geocaches?